and achieving more. Telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, hello there. Thank you so very much for joining the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. I am Dr. Judy, your radio host, and I want to thank you so very much for joining me this beautiful cold morning. I don't know where you are, where you're coming in from. I know those of you from Florida, in Tallahassee, we're cold. And those of you in Fort Lauderdale and the surrounding areas, I heard that you was cold as well. So we're having cold season everywhere, and we're praying for those who are in New York and various places, everywhere, man. It is, this weather is something else. But we thank and praise God for safety here in Tallahassee. So I am Dr. Judy, the host of this amazing, thought-provoking, and impactful live radio show. And I want to thank you all so very much for being here. To all of you via Facebook, the app, radio, thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much. I look forward, and I'm excited about this show. I'm excited about this show. So those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know that I have been lighting it, that front page up today, because I really am excited about it. You have people on the front line. So many things are happening, and I am ready to talk to you. So I got about 50 minutes to talk to you, and I am going to do that right here on the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. So do me a favor, call, get people on here, text, tag everyone you know, and invite them to get on the show. Just go ahead and put them on now. I have a few introductions to do. I want to thank Priscilla for the marketing, helping me get the flyers and stuff out, and to the producer, that is Evangelist Carolyn Waddell, my sister up there in Louisiana, making things happen. I want to thank her for all that she's doing. And to you, the audience, thank you for being on again today. I tell you, we had a good talk and a good after talk on the show. Different people calling and asking me questions and different things. And so I'm always happy to have you to tune in. And before I get started, tomorrow, February the 25th, rest in heaven, Mama. Tomorrow is my mother's birthday. Yes, it is. That's her first birthday in heaven. That's her first birthday in heaven. That's her first birthday in heaven. Wonder what kind of party they're gonna have up there. If they have it, we don't really know what they're doing. But tomorrow is her birthday in heaven. And that's what she's gonna celebrate it at. I'm gonna celebrate it here in Tallahassee. I really am. I'm going to celebrate it here, and then I'm going to celebrate it in Scotland, and I'm going to celebrate it in Tampa. I'm just going to celebrate her birthday. God knows I miss her. I would have been in Fort Lauderdale today getting ready to celebrate her tomorrow. And last year she wanted ice cream cone and stuff. So that's what we did last year. She ate 2 scoops of ice cream. And so I might eat a scoop tonight or tomorrow in celebration of her. I'm just so thankful that God gave us 86 years of her here on earth. And it was a great 86 years. My mom enjoyed her life, and we enjoy her life. So tomorrow's her birthday. You'll see it on Facebook from all of us, those who listen and those who follow us. You'll see it. If you don't follow us, you'll see it. All right. So go ahead, invite them on the show. And y'all already know my mom and my dad are the reason I am who I am. My mom and my dad, I had the greatest parents I could ever ask for. Matter of fact, I used to tell my mom and dad, I've never requested or desired to have anybody else as my mom and dad but them. God gave me the right parents. So I thank them because I am the awesome woman I am, the fearless woman that I am, the woman of God that I am because of my mom and dad. And so I will always celebrate them, Mother Dr. Irma Wesley, and my father, Sylvester Wesley Jr. So I want to thank God for them. And I get to freely build a stage and runway for you because of my awesome and amazing husband. I really do. You know what? Let me say this. And I know they are probably listening, but I had a couple to tell me that their marriage have increased since listening to my show for the last 10 years. The guy said they was about to get a divorce. But listening at my show and understanding how my husband treat me, he started treating his wife the same way, and they're happily married, and they're still married. I think that's a good thing, especially when we can look at ourselves and see what we're contributing to the problem. Okay, we got to look at all of that because it's not one way. Okay. So I want to thank you all for listening to the show, everybody who's listening. So I am excited about today's show. And I must say to the audience, thank you all for coming, for staying here with me, coming back each time. Thank you. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. I really do. I really do. And I am only as great as my team. I'm only as big as my team. So I want to thank all of you all for being a part of the team. Thank you for choosing to take a seat at the table. We're getting ready to get into this show today, but thank you for taking a seat at the table today. I'm excited to have you on, and we are truly about to get started here because I am super excited. I am super excited about today's show. So let's go. Let's go. Okay, so our show today we're gonna talk about the price of the front line. What no one tells you about being in charge. There's a price. A lot of time we see the glory, but we don't understand, brothers and sisters. There is a price. So my mission or the goal for this show today is hello there. The goal of this show today is to ensure that the people on the front line don't just survive the heat, but they thrive in the heat. Hello, Miss D. I miss your food. Okay, but they thrive in the fire. So the people on the front line don't just survive the heat, but that they thrive in the fire. So we are here to turn the scars of the battle into the stars of a legacy. Everyone wants the platform, but nobody wants the price tag. We see the armor, but we don't see the scars underneath. My sisters and brothers, it really does cost. It costs a lot. It costs a lot to be on the front line. It costs a whole lot. What just happened? It costs a whole lot to be on the front line. Okay, we see the armor, but we don't see the scars underneath. And a lot of times you see people on the front line, the people out front, they have paid a price to be there. They have paid a cost to be there. These businesses, they're still running, man, it costs. And I always tell people, don't get too cocky now, because it can come down in a moment. It can come down in a moment. But I believe when you are on the front line, when you are leading, you are being successful, one of the things that I want you all to remember, let's go back and help somebody. We got to reach down. We got to train. You got to train them how you've been. You know, it took a lot. So share this information. When you are on the front line, you are the first to encounter the crisis. If you aren't careful, the heat of the work will dry up your spirit. If you aren't careful, the heat of the work will dry up your spirit. To lead on the front line is to feel the heat of the battle, the pressure of expectation, the fire of criticism, and the warmth of the burden you carry for others. As a social work leader and a woman of faith, I know that the real cause of the front line is the willingness to stand in the heat. Hear this, so that others can stay in the shade. The willingness of the front line, or the real cause of the front line, is the willingness to stand in the heat so that others can stay in the shade. That's what the front line person does. And when they are sincere about it, a lot of times they get burnt first. They get burnt, but remember, even the sun sets. Even the sun sets. You must find your evening time, that place of rest and showing up for you, so you can return to the front line tomorrow with fresh oil and a cool spirit. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't just survive the heat. They walked with the fourth man in the fire. And the fourth man represented Jesus himself. It was God. It was him in the fire with him. On the front line, the heat is just the evidence that God is about to show off. I come to tell somebody today that God is about to show off on your behalf. God is about to show off on your behalf. The real cost of the front line is a multi-dimensional price tag that touches every part of your existence. It is not paid in dollars, but in human capital. Some people tell me they're always trying to be the limelight. They always try. My sisters and brothers, it costs to be there. And it costs in human capital, your time, your emotional reserves, and your peace. When you sit in the seat of leadership on the front line, whether in a church, a business, or community organization, the bill comes due in 4 specific areas. Number 1, the biopsychosocial spiritual cost. The biopsychosocial spiritual cost. The front line demands a toll from the whole person. And you cannot separate your professional assignment from your physical and spiritual well-being. The biological cost, here it is: chronic stress, frontline fatigue, and physical exhaustion. Chronic stress, frontline fatigue, and physical exhaustion. The psychological cost, the mental weight of decision making, and the silent grief of carrying other people's problem. Carrying other people's problem is stressful. It's a mental weight. It's a silent grief. The spiritual cost is the risk of becoming dry while watering everyone else's garden. The spiritual cost, the risk of becoming dry while watering everyone else's garden. The currency of accessibility. Number 2, the currency of accessibility. One of the highest costs is the loss of privacy. When you are on the front line, you are the first point of contact for the crisis. The cost is your time and your boundaries. So many people talk about the person on the front line, or they want to be the person out front. It costs, my sisters and brothers, it costs. In March, Women History Month, I'm going to bring some of the older women on, because I want them to tell us how much it costs. I want them to tell us how to hang on, what it feels like to be shot on the front line. I want them to tell us this. I often study Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Mary McLeod Bethune, Angela Davis. I study Oprah Winfrey. I study all of these women, Stacey Abrams. I study these women, Michelle Obama. I study these women. They're on the front line. I'm on the front line. And so it cost. The cost is your time and boundary. Leaders on the front line are often the first to face the storm and the last to find rest because the watchman cannot easily step down from the tower. A good frontline person does not quit because the storm is heavy, because the rumors and the act, they don't quit. They hold on because they see it from a different perspective. Number 3, the ethical gray area, the friction. As a professional, the cost is often the pressure of the bottom line. The front line is where you have to choose between what is easy and what is true. What is easy and what is true. That's what's wrong, in my opinion, with our country. The people, instead of choosing what Supervisor Fluker, God bless you. The truth of the matter with our country, you have people who have chosen not to choose what is true, but choose what is easy. So instead of getting in conflict with the men in charge, they have chosen to choose what is easy. Standing on your truth can cost you. Standing on your truth can cost you. It can cost you contracts. It can cost you popularity or temporary wins. However, the cost of compromise is much higher. It costs you your authority. And the fourth area of frontline leadership will cost you is the toll of friendly fire. The front line is physically and emotionally demanding because of relational friction. The real cost is often the sting of being misunderstood by the very people you are protecting. It is the emotional energy spent shielding your team from the fire, only to realize the heat is coming from behind you as much as it is from in front of you. When that dropped in my spirit, it is the emotional energy spent shielding your team from the fire, only to realize the heat is coming from behind you as much as it is from in front of you. And this is perhaps the most painful invoice a leader has to pay. When you are on the front line, you are often acting as a human shield, absorbing the impact of a crisis, making the hard decision, and carrying the gray area weight so that others don't have to. You're standing in the gap. You're standing as a human shield for the people you are serving, the people you are leading. The sting occurs when the very people who are safe because of your standing are the ones criticizing your posture. Do you know sometimes it's the people that you have served, the people that you have poured into, that cause you the greatest sting? Let me give you an example of Moses and Nehemiah, for example. When the pressure is high, people often mistake leadership for oppression. The Mosaic struggle. I want you to read Numbers 14 and 2. Numbers 14 and 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, and the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt. The real talk, Moses was leading them to a land of milk and honey. But because the heat of the journey was intense, they attacked the one leading them toward the promise. They began to attack Moses. God chose Moses to lead those children out of it. He chose Moses to take them through the Red Sea. It was God's choosing. Moses didn't volunteer for that. And could I get some of y'all to understand this? Many people are leading and they are great leaders, but it is God choosing that we are God's choice. Yes. We are God's choice. But they begin to attack Moses, the one leading them toward the promise. Moses knew where to go because he was following God. Then there's the Nehemiah focus. Nehemiah 6:23. And I sent messengers unto them saying, I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and come down to you? The real talk about that is Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls to protect the people. Yet he had to endure the friendly fire of rumors and distraction. But he refused to let the sting of being misunderstood pull him off the wall. And I want y'all to understand, do not allow the friendly fires of rumors and distractions to pull you off the wall. Don't let being misunderstood pull you off the wall. A leader's job is to see the harvest while everyone else is complaining about the rain. That's the leader job, to see the harvest while everyone else is complaining about the rain. The sting of being misunderstood is simply the price of seeing what others cannot see. When you're on the front line, you can see things that others cannot see. I just thought about this. A pilot can see what we can't see. We're in the back. He's in the front. But he or she, they're driving us in the front. And sometimes we hit turbulence. Sometimes the plane go up, the plane go down. But those pilots have been trained how to navigate through the storm, how to take the plane higher and lower. They have, and then they know how to do that. Those of us in the cockpit flying back there, only thing we know, we feel jerk, we feel turbulence, right? But they got this. But the front, understand this, the front line is the only place where you can be shot in the back. Hear this, supervisor. The front line is the only place where you can be shot in the back by the people you are shielding with your chest. It is the only place, the front line is the only place where you can be shot in the back by the people you are shielding with your chest. That's the only place. Hey, Tanya, and hello to everybody coming in. I'm sorry. True leadership is the ability to endure the disapproval of the many for the ultimate protection of the all. When you are on the front line, you are often operating with a high altitude perspective. You can see the storm. That's what I was just saying about the pilots. You can see the storm on the horizon while the people are still enjoying the sunshine. God bless you, Bishop Kojit, Bishop Wayne. Because you see the danger first, you make decisions that are unpopular in the present to ensure there's a future for everyone. That's being on the front line. They can't see that you see something, and the only thing you're really doing is protecting them. But the very people that you are protecting is shooting you in the back. Only on the front line. Only on the front line can you be shot. It's the only place where you can be shot in the back by the people you are shielding with your chest. Only on the front line. Only on the front line. So listeners, if you are currently facing the heat of disapproval, ask yourself, Am I protecting their feelings, or am I protecting their future? Am I on this front line to protect their feelings, or am I protecting their future? True leadership isn't a popularity contest. It's a protection detail. And you might be the most misunderstood person in the room today, but you will be the most appreciated person in the history books. Now, to hear me what I'm telling you. You might be the most misunderstood person in the room today, but you will be the most appreciated person in the history book tomorrow. Stand your ground. Protect the all. The primary reason critics have so much to say is that they lack the context of the weight. A critic sees the decision, but the frontline leader sees the consequences. A critic sees the area as black and white because they don't have to live with the fallout of the choice. There's a quote that said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena." That's what Theodore Roosevelt said. The man or woman in the arena. That's who the credit belongs to. The one out there getting their butt beat, the one out there who's sticking it to it, who's making the tough decision, who's being criticized, who's being false, is that person. Real talk, critics speak from a place of comfort, but a frontline leader leads from a place of sacrifice. A frontline leader leads from the place of sacrifice. So may I suggest to you, never let the opinion of someone in the shade dictate the mood of you who are in the sun. Don't allow someone who's in the shade to dictate the moods of you, the one in the sun. The most vocal critics are people who are frustrated by their own inability to handle the pressure. They see you standing on your truth, and it highlights their own compromise. And to make themselves feel better about staying in the back, they find fault with the frontline leader. They can't handle the front line, no kind of way. So they tear down the person who can. Their criticism is actually a confession of their own limitation. Let me tell you this. If you are leading and you're on that front line, my sisters and brothers, you are powerful. Stand on what God has placed in you. Stand on, my goddaughter told me, we were talking and she had her own opinion. And I said, you better watch your mouth. She said, why? You taught me this. Man, I want to give her a backhand slap in the mouth, right? But I couldn't. Yes. And two of my goddaughters here, and I'm proud because they're able to stand on their own truth. They're able to be who they are. We taught them that. We taught them that. The friendly fire critic, the sting of the norm. Okay? As I wrote earlier, the hardest critic are the real friends who leave or turn. In Psalm 55, 12-13, David said, if an enemy was insulting me, I couldn't do it. But it's you, a man or sister like myself, my companion, my close friend. You got inside information to create false accusation. Isn't it amazing? You bust your butt for people, you give and you help them become and help them do, and all of a sudden they want to create false accusation. They take your vulnerability and weaponize it. You have to realize that, okay, this is real good right here. Carolyn, write this. This is real good. You have to realize that some people will only equipped to walk with you in fellowship, not in the furnace. Some people were only equipped to walk with you in the fellowship, not in the furnace. You saw their weakness when they were there. They didn't do anything. They didn't protect you. They did nothing. And so you don't have to cry about that because that's not really a miss. You don't miss them. Come on. You have to realize that some people were only equipped to walk with you in the fellowship, not in the furnace. Some people couldn't handle the fire of your furnace. They would have quit on you in the furnace. They would have started rolling around in that fire. So when the heat of the frontline rolled, they folded. And it was good. It was good for them that they folded. It was good for you that they folded. You hear me? Yes. Critics on the front line. Let hit the critics on, because I want you to understand it costs to be on that front line. And some of you couldn't endure the front line if your life depended upon it. Not right now. You might be able to a little later, but not right now. Not right now. But critics on the front line usually use a specific playbook to try and move the leader. I'm telling you. Critics on the front, no, the first thing, they lies and false accusation, attempted to damage the on-point reputation. They use ostracization. They try to ostracize you, trying to make the leader feel like a lone wolf, so they lose their confidence. The blame game, making the leader the scapegoat for the collective failures of the group. You got to understand that. You got people who would do that. And I'm gonna give you a filter to help you with the critics, because you got to understand that front line costs. That front line, it's easy to run instead of stand. That's easy. It's easy to run. Filter the source. Filter the source, not just the message. So before you let a critic hit your heart, ask, is this person on the front line? If they aren't carrying a shield for someone else, they don't have the right to tell you how to carry yours. Some people don't know how to do that. Some people don't know how to handle no front line anything. They ain't never been on the front line. They never been on the front line. And you don't want everybody on the front line with you. God told Gideon, you got too many. All them people don't belong with you. You got 30,000, they ain't with you. You better find out who really with you. Because when you go to battle, you want the real people you want people with you who will fight with you. People with guns. You want people who really believe in you. Okay, that's who you want on that front line. The Nehemiah response was silent, and it was powerful. They want a critic want a dialogue because it pulled you off your wall. Your best response to life is continue excellence. Nehemiah said, I'm doing a great work and I cannot come down. Don't explain your truth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. There are some people, I don't care what you say, they're still not going to understand. They're not going to understand. You got some people who are going to think they're right no matter what. And you got some people who are going to agree with them, even people who was in your thing. I'm telling you, I know my close circles. No one in my close circle have left. Not one person. No one in my close circle has ever left. Even if they ain't in Tallahassee, they ain't left. And here's what I want to tell you. When your critic, because this is going to help you right here. This is going to help you. Okay? When your critics get loud, the pressure of that front line get overwhelming, you better go to your tribe. You better have your tribe that you can depend on. I got a lot of people around me, but they're not in my tribe. I got a lot of people around me, but I know who to trust. I know who I can seriously trust. The Bible said, put no trust in man. I know the ones I can depend on. I know the ones I have confidence in. Even if they make a mistake for whatever reason and don't catch me off that trampoline, I know it wasn't intentional. Do you hear me? You got to know your tribe and make sure you know the real, not the one that just giggle, not the one who talk, oh, I got this, I got not that one. Then I hear people lying, talking about this person always been, them people ain't even like you. They ain't never, you got to understand that people who ain't like you 10 years ago, they still don't like you. People ain't like you 15 years ago, they still don't like you. So be careful. So how do you get with your tribe? Your tribe knows the real you, which make the lives of the critic irrelevant. Your tribe know the real. You got people out there just passing stuff and they lying, they don't even know. So you must remind yourself that you aren't on the front line for the applause of the protected. You are there for the assignment of the creator. I think that's a good one too, Carolyn. You got to remind yourself that you aren't on the front line for the applause of the protected. You are there for the assignment of the creator. I know I'm on the front line. Some people call it limelighting. I don't care. You got to be so sure in who you are that you don't allow the voices of the critics to stop you. You got to know who you are. This is the Mother Wesley perspective. Remember the legacy. Remember the giants who came before you were misunderstood in their time, but they were honored by history. You better know that. I look at my mom, and I like to do this stuff when people are alive. Man, she got a street named in her honor when she was alive. She got a building named after her when she was alive. You know, she got the YMCA built more than $1 million YMCA built in her honor, but she was alive to see all of that. But she had to endure some things to get there. This is why you need a tribe. People who know the real you, so you don't have to explain yourself to everyone else. You're leading, and I want everybody to know. So you want to be on the front line? This is the cost of the front line. This stuff people don't tell you about the front line. This is the cost of the front line. I look at these elected officials. There's a cost to be an elected official. There's a cost. The leadership exhaustion often comes from the constant need to translate or defend your action to people who don't have your perspective. They don't care anyway. I've learned not even try to explain it. Believe what you want. Believe what you want. God always has a way of bringing forth. My mama used to tell us, a lie just fly, but the truth will walk you down. The truth is slow. And when you're on the front line, you are on for the world. When you are on the front line, you are on for the world. But your tribe is the place where you can finally take off the armor. That's the place you take off your wig, you take off your weave, you take off you take off your toupee, you can take your shoes off. You don't have to dye your beard dark black. You can just let it be what it is. You know, you can just come and be you. That's the tribe. And the tribe is a strategic necessity for enduring the front line. Man, all the work that I do and all of the jabblers, the jab that I get, even from the back, I got to have that front line. I mean, I got to have that tribe. I got to have that tribe. And I really know who my tribe is. I mean, for real. Even though I have a lot of people around me, I know the tribe. I know who the real tribe is. And that's what you better do. On the front line, you are often accused misunderstood, or lied on. The natural human instinct is to defend your name to everybody. That's what we want to do. The Bible says a good name is rather chosen than what all their rubies. So I want to defend my name. You don't have to. You know, your work is already speaking for you. Your work is already speaking. But your tribe cancels that debt. The reality, you don't have to provide a footnote for your character with your tribe. You don't have to do that. They have the historical data on your heart. On your heart. I just listen to people lie. What all they did over there. No people even like you. And that's what everybody knows. It saves your mental energy when you got the right tribe. If you spend all day explaining yourself to the many, you won't have the strength to lead the all. If you spend all your time explaining yourself to the many, you won't have the strength to lead the all. Here's a quote for you. It says, a true friend is someone who hears the song in your heart and can sing it back to you when you have forgotten the words. Carolyn, that's another one. A true friend is someone who hears the song in your heart and can sing it back to you when you have forgotten the words. You have to do that. Mike Goldstein is a young man here in Tallahassee. He has a bike cab business. And y'all, he got to be one of the most happiest people. He has some form of something. But y'all, I call this the Mike standard. I mentioned earlier that I love that Mike stand on his truth and bring laughter and dancing. I don't care where we go. If we got music, Mike gonna dance. Mike gonna get on the floor and Mike gonna dance, and he gonna dance and he gonna dance again. He's gonna laugh and he's just gonna, and then whatever he believes is true, he believes is true, whether you believe it or not. And that is exactly what a tribe does. Your tribe is where you can say that hurt or I'm tired without it being used against you as a sign of weakness. A tribe doesn't just agree with you, they reflect the real you. And the ones who are close to me, the ones who are really there and know my heart and who work with me, who are the Aarons and Urs of my life, they reflect the real me. When the world calls you difficult, your tribe reminds you that you are determined. When the world said you are too much, your tribe reminds you that you are on point. Proverbs 27:17 said, iron sharpening iron, so a man sharpening the countenance of his friend. The psychosocial, spiritual safe house is your tribe. The front line is a high pressure environment. This is what people don't tell you about the front line. Y'all, it's more than getting hand claps. It's more than that. It's more than getting the key to the city. It's more than that. Man, I got the key to the city and I didn't know so many people was, I'm like, well, what the heck wrong with that? Well, why they didn't get it? They should have got it for Judah. You don't even know me. I've been doing this work, what I'm doing right now today in Tallahassee since I was 19. I am 67 years old. You go figure. 19, I'm 67. You go figure. Understand what I'm saying? Your tribe prayed for you when you are too busy praying for the world. That's what your tribe do. And my tribe call and reflect on that. They are the Aaron and the Ur who hold up your arms when you are weary. And y'all know who they are in your life. And don't try to put people in there who's not part of your tribe. If you know that they cannot hold up your hand, I don't care how long y'all been friends. That is not part of your tribe. You need people who can get tired of holding up your hands and holding up your arms, but they still do it because they know that this is not just for right now. This is for the future. You hear me? Protecting the whole man and woman. The real cause of the front line is that people start to see you as a function rather than a person. The community sees a chairperson. The church sees the pastor. The world sees a social worker. But the tribe see Judy. They see Nancy. They see Carolyn. They see Wayne. They see Brenda. They see Cheese. They see Blanche. You understand what I'm saying? They see supervisors on here. Y'all understand what I'm saying? They protect the person behind the performance. They make sure the whole woman is okay, not just the listener, not just the leader. So as I get ready to bring this to a close, when I stated my mission today was to let you know that front line, that's a cause. That front line costs. It's more than the limelight. You think people are just, no, it costs. And if you can't stand to be talked about, if you can't stand to be rejected by people that you had confidence in, that people that you thought was real, see, some things don't come out until the heat comes. That's what some things don't do. Yeah. Some things just don't happen until the heat comes, because you need to see who's real. You need to see that. You need to let them go through the fire to see who's going to go to the fire with you. You need to see that. You need to see who's going through the fire with you. The front line will try to redefine you based on its heat, but your tribe will remind you who you are based on your heart. The tribe really knows your heart. Mother Michelle, hello. The tribe really knows your heart. Even Jesus had Peter, James, and John. You need people who know the real you so you can stop explaining and start in doing. Stop explaining yourself to everybody. Stop trying to give an answer. Let them believe what they want. The truth will come. The truth will come. You need people who know the real you so you can stop explaining it. If you don't have a tribe, it's time to stop looking for followers and start looking for brothers and sisters who could stand in the gray areas with you. That's what you need. You need people who can stand in the gray area with you. You need people who could stand there. You need people who can make that happen. That's what you need. You need people who can make that happen with you. And you can't leave a legacy without paying the price. People crying, oh, they left. I haven't cried because anyone left. Don't cry because people leave. Everybody can't go with you on there. Some people were just for the fellowship. You need people who can be in the fire. You got a great work to do. You have a great work to do. And for those of you thinking about the front line, I want to give to you that it costs to be out there. And if you go on that front line, you don't have time to quit. You don't have time to throw in the towel. You don't have time to say, oh, me, oh, my. You don't have time for that. You got to keep going. God has gifted you. And I keep saying this because I want you to know how powerful you are. We quit too soon. If God put you on the front line, you're on the front line. You're on the front line. Don't stop for the whisperers. Don't stop for those who got off the bandwagon. Don't stop for that. And listen, can I tell you, you don't have to speak evil of people. You don't. You don't. They want to go, bye-bye. You don't have to do that. Don't get caught up in all this crazy stuff. You got too much work to do. You're gifted. You're anointed. And some of you probably afraid of this front line. And if you don't have it together, you better be. Because you don't cuss, you can't be cursing people out on the front line. You know what people have really done for you. You know what people have done for you. So you can't be on the front line, and can I help you? Please don't get excited about the hand claps. You can't do that on the front line. You better hear me. Let your tribe clap for you. Some people think they got it now. Oh, I got it now. No. As much as I work in the front line, as much as God has gifted me and given me favor with so many people, I wear it lightly. And I'm just trying to help somebody. Wear it lightly. Wear it lightly. Some people, you haven't told people about your past. When they find out about it, you're going to be out of there. You better hear me. You are going to be out of there. So don't get caught up on people clapping. Oh, Judy, that's a good job. Thank you. To God be the glory. Oh, wow. Thank you. To God be the glory. And you keep moving. God is the source. God is the source of who we are, not us. These degrees that we have, they're good. But if God don't get an increase to them, that don't mean a thing. Y'all better hear me. You might and God he allowed COVID to come and show us. He allowed our president up there to show y'all. Man, we're in control. They could come and take everything you have right now. A fire can come and that'll be it. Death can come, that'll be it. So no, don't get caught up on all this stuff and don't think of yourself more highly than you are. This front line costs y'all. People don't want to tell you about all this that you endure on the front line. It's hard out here on this front line. And I like to do real talk. I do. I like to talk real to people. Ain't no need of me trying to fool you. My children at my daycare, at my child development center, the 2 and 3 year-olds, I don't play with them. I try to give them truth. Do not stand up there. The reason why I don't want you to stand up there, because you can hurt yourself. Do not keep running. You can hurt yourself. Stop running. Walk. Slow down. Don't run. Do not put that in your mouth. And I have to say it over and over. And guess what they do still? Same thing they do at home with their parent. They keep running. They keep running. Keep trying to jump off stuff. But as a frontline leader, you keep teaching the message. You keep teaching the message. That's the price of the front line, y'all. It costs. It costs. It costs. Again, as I stated before, tomorrow is my mama's birthday. Tomorrow's my mom's birthday. And she's not here in the flesh, but I'm going to eat some cake on her behalf. I might eat 2 double scoop of ice cream on her behalf, because that's what she like. And anything else my sister Tanya tell me that my mama like, I'm going to eat it tomorrow. I am, because tomorrow's her birthday. Well, if y'all would join me tonight for our Bible study. We are back in the sanctuary, but I think that we've been going live, but we're back in the sanctuary on Tuesday nights for our Bible study. And my son, Antonio Witherspoon, Elder Witherspoon, will be teaching our prayer points, and I will be doing Bible study. So I will be teaching Bible study tonight, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be faith and the belief in God is why I keep building. Yeah, remember that, Carolyn. I believe that's what the subject gonna be. And then I want to invite you back for Sunday morning service. Our Sunday school starts we're back in the church on Sunday mornings at 9:30. And Dr. Therese, Marcella Therese, is the leader of our Sunday school. And it is going to be absolutely fantastic. And then our Sunday morning worship is at 11 a.m. So I want you to be our guest, if you would. And so I want you to come. So as I sign off, before I go, I want to look into the spirit of every person listening. You were built for the pressure of the front line. You are the shield, the anchor, and the visionary. The price is high. It costs a lot to be on the front line. It costs a lot. But the legacy is eternal. Endurance is not about how long you can hold your breath. It's about how consistently you can breathe in the grace of God while standing in the fire. I am Dr. Judy Mandrell. I want you to stay strong, stay well watered, and keep showing up on the front line for those coming behind you. That's real talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.